Many people feel like there's a conflict between science and the Christian faith, that the latest advances in science make belief in God impossible. But is that really the case? And I'm joined today by Dr. A.J. Roberts, a virologist, a molecular biologist, and a Christian to help answer that question. A.J., the Bible tells us that God is revealed through the record of nature. And so I'm curious, as a scientist, what do you see to be evidence for God's fingerprints in the created order?
I actually see them quite a lot in cell physiology and in development of the cell and development of the organism. The intricacies of the cellular machinery are just phenomenal. They're staggering, and the way that they're orchestrated together to function in harmony and beauty, really, is just something that I don't understand how other scientists can't look at that and be just awe-inspired and led to the concept of there must be a divine creator. I kind of see it as one of those things that Romans alludes to when it says that it's visible in nature that God has eternal power and divine action. And I see that in the cellular machinery and the cell physiology. And in developmental biology and in the development of cells and how they talk back and forth with one another, it's so complex that we don't even really begin to understand those complexities today. And that suggests to me that the complexity is far deeper than we've ever considered. And that screams of a designer to me. The other thing, as a virologist, I actually think that the immune system is just something that has really compelled me to say there must be a creator, because the immune system has this capacity to respond to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of foreign invaders. And yet it's a fairly limited system. Yet it has such immense capacity for response that I don't imagine that even one of our smartest scientists could develop something with that kind of efficiency and foresight.
You know, one of the things that I find very intriguing when you look at the biological literature is how often this idea of design is prevalent. And both Christians and non-Christians alike recognize design in biology. Mm-hmm. But why is it, do you think, that there's such resistance in the scientific community to the idea of intelligent design?
That's a really interesting question. I think that scientists, like you say, they really do pursue design in their experimental parameters and the way they set up experiments, the way that they expect nature to be reproducible, and they expect experiments to work the same way from time to time. All of those things seem to suggest to me that there's an element of design that we participate in, even as scientists, and yet as we unpack the things that we discover, they reveal to us complexities that we haven't even considered as we began to develop our experiments. And so I don't understand, really, why scientists don't see that and think more often there must be a designer behind this very complex system, especially in the case of like symbiosis and things where you have mutual activities between organisms that are strongly interdependent. And yet, you know, it's almost impossible to understand how that came about or how to separate it without losing function of both individuals.